So. Yeah, he's on. Good to go? Okay, welcome. This is the meeting of the Sleepy Hollow Local Development Corp. The date is March 24th. Got a full forum. First item on the agenda, do the minutes, March 10th. Do you have any changes, edits, questions? Not. So move we accept the minutes. Great, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Great, minutes are approved. Expenditures, we've got 185,242.99. The Sean's Lawn, the biggest chunk is the Sean's Lawn sewer related amount of 165. That is the retainage that we had for the sewer work, and they've finished what they've done, so it's fair to give them back that. Oh, good. That's just for the sewer work specifically. Other than that, pretty basic. Any questions? If not, can I get a motion with expenditure?
Did we move this to?
Well,
Is this a longer discussion?
this is a longer discussion.
Okay. In exec?
You want?
Okay.
I don't even know. But
Let's do it.
One from one category to.
Yeah.
Which we can do.
Which one?
Paragon on Hudson,
Oh, all
the,
right, we'll talk, yeah.
Oh,
then.
yeah, invoice.
All right, did I get a motion?
No.
Not yet.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, expenditure. Is Justin on?
Yeah.
So how do you want to handle these? Pack of resolutions, which is really just housekeeping material. Justin?
Yeah, the annual organizational resolution is adopted by the board each year. The intent is to readopt 2 policies that need to be visited each year and to undertake the designation of board offices, chair, vice chair, treasurer, and secretary, and to set committees. The resolutions in your packet should include the policies to be readopted, and if you want to have a discussion on setting board offices, that can be written in for a single roll call vote, as well as attending to the committee appointments.
Is there a reason we didn't get this sooner? I mean, I'm handed, I don't know what it is, a dozen pages here, I haven't even read it. It wasn't in the emails.
It was in the email,
Yeah, I mean, well, this, most of this was included in the packet from the last meeting, but it was tabled. Right, and so then most of that was so that we could include the budget that wasn't ready at the time.
Yeah, I saw the email. Yeah. Did you read it?
Have any of these policies changed from what we adopted in past years?
No, they remain the same condition, just the Public Authorities Act requires you to review 2 specific policies each year, your investment policy and your property disposition policy. As far as I know, they've remained unchanged for many, many years. So
and they're required.
that's right.
So the only thing I would say is I don't think we can adopt, oh, sorry, the last one is the budget.
Mhm.
Is that separate?
It's all part of this resolution.
Okay, so I don't think we can adopt a budget yet if the amount hasn't been approved by the village. Right?
No, we can.
Oh, yeah, I don't think, I mean, our budget is really completely separate from the village's budget, right? But, I mean, they are connected. So I'm using, I mean, I talked to Kia and Pasquale. At least everything that's in here matched at the time, you know, what was included in the village's line item for the LDC for this upcoming fiscal year.
Okay.
Now that could change when the LDC adopts their budget. And
So if that changes, then do we just have to go back and change this? I just hesitate to approve something that isn't approved at
Is there a time frame on proving this?
end of April.
We have
I would,
another meeting.
My recommendation is we should approve our budget. If trustees don't approve it, that's fine, then.
Yeah, the
Deal with
budget,
that, but this budget is pretty straightforward. It's not like there's anything complicated, so I just assume get it approved by the LDC and then, you know, for it to be official, you'll have to approve it,
Okay.
trustee.
Okay.
So what do you want to do on this, pack of resolutions? Justin, what are the basic boilerplate items that we have to do and are the same as prior years? Are pretty straightforward, right? There's nothing we can do about those. What are the items that require input from the board here?
well, the annual budgets due to be filed with the state 60 days before the end of your fiscal year, so it's actually April 1 is the deadline.
Okay, so the budget's one item. What else?
Setting your board offices each year. I don't know if you have any thoughts on making any changes or keeping folks' positions the same. That's a business item in the resolutions. And just designating staff, which isn't changing either, so I defer to you. It's all one omnibus resolution that is mostly housekeeping we address around this time of year within late March.
So our budget year is different than the villages?
no, our fiscal year budget's aligned, but it's through Paris, we're supposed to upload our adopted budget 2 years before the end of the. But again, it's a budget. So it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get this off the table and get it done, so. Anybody have any questions or want to make any changes? What about,
Who was the secretary? Who was the secretary before? No, you're two.
I think typically a board member is. Director.
yeah,
All you're the secretary?
No idea.
I think you were,
Yeah.
I remember now.
You
You agreed to. So the question is, should we just keep everything the same?
I think so. That's fine.
Yeah,
If anybody has any desire to do something different, I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
Just operating.
I mean, I remember
Yeah.
reading this, but this, nothing's changed.
All right, so we've got these 3 resolutions in the budget. Can we just, approve those? Get a motion to approve?
Can we do it all in one also?
I think we can, right, Justin?
Yeah, that would be fine.
Motion to approve the resolutions in the packet,
And the budget, the operating budget.
including the operating budget.
Seconded.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right. Housekeeping stuff. Dan, you want to give us, your update?
Sure. We'll start with minor issue with our new wall that was recently constructed. There was an incident with some graffiti that was placed. You know, our contractor used a kind of like a graffiti removal solution that they had on hand, but it didn't really get the graffiti off.
Where was it?
It's down, it's at the, you really can't see it, but it's down by the Beacon Avenue Bridge where the wall has that angle. And it's at the very bottom corner, just a small,
Facing the bridge?
basically facing the bridge.
You can see it if you scan it.
They were quick.
So, yeah, I mean, it only took maybe a handful of weeks, but, so the contractors, they're gonna try a different kind of graffiti removal. And if that doesn't work, they can just grind it off and patch it up a
Can't
little
we
bit.
put one of those extra cameras down there?
So I was gonna say.
I can talk to George to see what we can do in terms of camera placement, just to have another view. I mean, that is one of the cameras that is in that planned relocation would be overlooking, the majority of the 193, Beekman viaduct parcel easement, but I'll check in with them.
Yeah, do that.
And then, so that to facilitate the contractors' work on wrapping up the Continental Street extension, they'd like to move our security trailer slightly out of the way, just kind of pick it up and slide it over. I just want to make sure that really right now in that trailer is housed the servers and the equipment for all the feeds for the cameras. So I want to make sure if that is okay, that George is at least around just to make sure nothing happens. And to that end, I've also asked him to give me a quote for a weatherproof enclosure so that the servers and things can be relocated outside of the trailer. And we won't be relying on that moving forward.
We won't need the trailer.
We won't really need the trailer for anything.
We're talking that thing.
I've asked a couple contractors.
The wind blows, Ron,
Yeah.
that whole thing's gonna crumble.
I think it's had a good run.
Yeah, so you gotta.
That'll be interesting.
So
What are they gonna use? Like a big?
they have like a front end loader. They can, put the forks under it and just kind of pick it up, slide them. It's just on cinder blocks, so they'll slide them over and, I'll make sure that I'm around for that just in case also. But it should be fine. They built the entire wall using, those are like 30,000-pound blocks. I think they can move our trailer a little bit out of the way. Yeah. So WSP also distributed some sketches for what is essentially going to be the connection between the new and existing wall. This is really the last outstanding item to enable completion of the overall project. WSP still has to finalize all the calculations and prepare a work plan so that we can get Metro North approval to actually implement the fix. But they are working with Sean's Lawns, who's providing some feedback on any temporary measures and constructability with that plan, given proximity to the tracks and other work. And so hopefully they'll be able to put together, a schedule and negotiate a cost for, any potential change orders. So that work is moving ahead. As far as work that's been completed, most of the drainage and water main installations are nearly complete. The electrical work started last week with some pole foundations going in, pole boxes and conduit, as well as the service connection that's right at the entrance to the site. And over the work upcoming, we'll be starting to get some curbing going in, some concrete barrier and guide rail at the ends of the wall, as well as I've also asked if the contractor can work with their sub to install permanent fencing in certain locations. This is specifically to also address, on the off chance that folks are able to access the site from, climb down that slope with some permanent fencing to, will create a little bit more of a secure perimeter to hopefully prevent that. Nothing we can really do other than put up a camera if they're accessing from other places. Catch them in. Hopefully. So other than that, some of the other work will be knee wall and slope that is underneath Barnhart Park should be moving forward, as well as hopefully the closure wall to really close out that area that's right at the limit of the between new and existing wall.
Still, what's the due date?
Well, yesterday.
Yeah, but how long, we gotta go through Metro North.
Now, the good thing is that given the type of repair that we're doing, it is all work that the contractor had done previously.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Hopefully.
putting my optimist hat on, it should be hopefully straightforward to modify a work plan and, you know, expedite an approval. I mean, Metro North is also very interested in seeing this repair be completed. So hopefully there won't be any, you know, unnecessary delays.
So Justin, I have a question. This is all part, I'm assuming this is all part of the delay. So I just said the
Oh,
word.
maybe we should save it.
Okay, we'll save it for exact.
They provide, you've seen the sketches they provided for the wall fixes?
Yeah. I understand what they're trying to do, but it's a matter of, you know, finalizing and getting it to a point where it can be reviewed.
What does Sean think of it?
They're okay with it.
Oh, good.
They just said, you know, you get us the calcs and, like I said, Sean's Lawns is looking into the type of equipment, you know, whether they have material and equipment on site that they can use, which they should be able to for most of it. But it's moving. Jumping ahead to the skate park project, we were able to confirm with the Board of Trustees that we will be adding a third full-size court to the project scope. And this is based on a concept alignment that showed a, you know, creative realigning of the eastern bridge approach, just connecting into that Continental intersection in a different way.
Creative realigning.
Creative realigning. It's all conceptual at this point, but it's you know, working proof that we can gain a little more space.
I'm just curious, was there any consideration given to the potential cost that this generate?
At this point, it's
Not that we're any closer to getting a bridge built.
right. It's too hard to tell, right? Without more advanced.
And you know, I see $1 million.
No, well, look, I will say with at least one option, this option that's been explored, the general approach on the western side of the tracks doesn't really change. It's mostly just kind of sweeping out the alignment further to the north and
It's
connecting.
along the retaining walls.
No, the retaining wall is the same length. You're still going from the same elevation here to the same elevation here.
Longer.
So you may be adding a little bit more roadway at grade.
Yeah, you know what, I haven't said it, just because it's so far.
So, but yeah, in terms of cost that at least I see, you're gonna be reconstructing at least a portion of the intersection that's under construction now, but that's relatively minor compared to, I think the number of changes might balance out, that maybe you have you might have a curved superstructure, but you've got a shorter span. So, but without really advancing the design into, you know, more detailed, it's too difficult to really
I'm
tell
worried
what.
about track geometry.
So, but in any case, it is possible. So the design build team is now working on finalizing their, you know, the overall plan for what we would be moving forward with, the promenade court, skate park.
We really don't have a say in that way. How they develop that park. Whether they have courts. That's.
No.
Well, that's the decision from the
Okay.
board.
That's fine.
So
Just curious.
we're moving forward. The design team is working on, like I said, revising the overall plan, developing that guaranteed maximum price that would be part of the design build amendment. That's essentially what we execute, you know, to move it forward into the construction portion of the design build project. Based on everything that's happened to date, they would estimate that mobilization would be in approximately 2 to 3 months from, let's call it April 1st. So you're really looking at maybe sometime in June right?
Sure.
For a start date of construction. That's, again, assuming we're okay with GMP and the design build amendment and,
When we anticipate that.
that would be probably in about a month. Yep, from now. Yep, when we should be seeing the plans, the estimate,
Probably works out.
And then construction is like 6 months.
It's true.
7 months?
they're putting it at 7 months, but the thing to consider is that is backing into November, December, maybe even into January, so, you know, we'll just have to, see as we go. It's, you know, less than ideal, but I mean, the alternative is holding off on starting until spring of next year, so, and they're confident that they can, you know, get a substantial amount completed, so much like with this one, you know, maybe they can work through it and we get a mild winter. But, so we'll see. With that, our next meetings, will be, I think right now on the schedule are for April 14th, which is in 3 weeks, and then the 28th after that, 2 weeks. That's everything from my.
Why is it in 3 weeks?
I think, does it have to do with Easter? I think the 7th. I think there might be like Easter Monday or something in there.
Palm Sunday.
There's a reason I think that it skipped over the 7th.
The 14th is a school break.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out.
Second and fourth
Yeah.
Monday.
Maybe that's it.
And then
Yeah.
we
That's spring
It's the
break.
spring break. I'm gonna be out of town.
Oh, so do we want to adjust that?
On the 14th, you guys will be out?
That's spring break.
So why isn't it in 2 weeks?
Oh, I think just
It's
for,
usually the second and fourth Monday, so that's
Because
great.
if they're all out on the 14th, well, why don't we do it in 2 weeks?
We have a budget meeting.
Yeah.
Womp womp. I might be here, I'm not sure. I mean, they're gonna be gone the first half of the week or the second.
It becomes.
I'm like 50-50. I'm either gonna be gone the first half of the week or the second. So,
What do you mean the board has a budget meeting
We're in special budget meetings with the departments.
on the 7th?
Right, it's in a lot.
But we don't have to meet here, do we?
That's okay, you guys could meet without me.
Right, that would be just one board member missing versus.
Yeah.
What do we think? Should we do the 7th?
I don't care.
Oh, I can't do the 7th. At the airport.
She can.
Can't watch from the airport.
Problems.
All right, I don't care. Let's just put down the 14th for now. What else, Dan?
that's it for me. So,
All right, anybody have any old business or new business? Otherwise, I'd ask the motion to go into exec to talk about contract negotiations and some legal matters.
Motion to go to executive to talk about contracts, negotiations and legal matters.
So then,
All in favor, say aye.
I.
Aye.
Aye. You.